Hey Pleiadian Starseeds, welcome to Starseed Energetics. My name is Ashtara and I'm going to be reading your October energy. Just a quick update, I'm going to be changing how I do things on my channel. So I'm only going to read 3 different star systems every month, and that's going to depend on the month and the energy itself, which star system wants to speak out. And if you want to go deeper with me, I'm going to have a Patreon subscription where I'm going to be channeling various different beings, ascended masters, or star systems, depending on the energy itself. And this month, one of the beings or collectives that I will channel is Ganesh, and I'm not sure what else. This is how I'm going to manage my energy and time from now on, because my priorities, I want to just set them straight. And when I have 7 different star systems to do every month, I end up postponing the whole thing. So it'll actually be better if I just do 3 and I just do it. Okay, so I'm gonna get into your reading. The first message that I got for you guys was that a lot of you keep wearing these crystals and you're not cleansing them enough. But energetically, it's really, they're working hard for you all the time, and it's really important to purify them just as much as you would shower yourself. And the quickest and simplest way that I like to do it is if I have incense or smoke or Palo Santo, I like to cleanse it with smoke at the end of the night, and of course have the intention that I'm cleaning them up. When I'm taking a saltwater bath, I take my crystals with me, like actually all of them that I have with me. So even the ones that I have in my bedside, or just big ones too, I'll take them all into the bathroom with me, and it's a good bonding experience as well. And they like to be cleansed in salt water. There's a few types of crystals that don't like salt water, so just make sure, but they're very rare, the ones that don't like it. Another way is to let them sit in sunlight or moonlight. I like to cleanse them in sunlight, but you just want to make sure it's not out in the open where people are going to take it or something. Just if you have a private space where you can just lay it down. So these are some of the ways, and I think a lot of you needed to hear that because you keep wearing these crystals and they're full of energy that needs to be cleansed. And if you hear any animals, it's because I'm in Bali. So Pleiadians, let's see what's happening for you this month in Libra season, or whenever you're watching this. My readings are timeless. King of Swords, Temperance, Knight of Cups, Devil, Queen of Swords, 2 Wands, King of Pentacles. A lot in reverse. I'm not going to read reversal for you this month. Okay. There's an offer of love for you here with the Knight of Cups, and it does feel romantic, because obviously it's a Knight of Cups, which is romantic. But in the Temperance is your central position. You have to balance yourself first. You need to balance the masculine and feminine of your mental body, especially the way that you think, the patterns that you're thinking in, the cognitive patterns or the thought systems that you embody are quite imbalanced in terms of the masculine and feminine energy. In your case, it's a lot of it is mental imbalance. Imbalance means when you're not thinking, you feel like you're wasting your time. And this is very subconscious. It basically means you're overthinking in terms of this coming up with King of Swords and Queen of Swords. This is coming from this really fractured perspective of the law of attraction, where it might have been how you started out your spiritual journey is to learn about the law of attraction, because, you know, people use that as bait, as they want to manifest something, so they want to learn about, you know, metaphysics. So a lot of people had kind of this entry point from this law of attraction, and it teaches you that you have to think the right thoughts, and you have to think positive thoughts. You have to think really hard about what you want, and then it'll come about. Basically, there was this layer of belief system that made you feel like, oh my God, when you are not thinking, you're not doing anything at all. You're not being productive. You're not manifesting. You're not being of service. This is where you need to really, really cut that out. You have this tendency where you have addictions based on thought. So you actually either worry about things that don't need to be worried about. You worry about things purposefully that you don't have enough information about. So it could mean like you try to plan for something that you cannot plan for at this moment, because you thrive on this like mental addiction to generating endless thoughts, because somewhere in there you think it's productive. Another thing could be you worry about future events that just doesn't really make sense to think about right now. You know, when people look up like diseases, I think they call it hypochondriac, and you think you have all these different things wrong with your system of energy and whatever. That could be one of them. These chickens are really bothering me right now. Oh my gosh, sorry. But that's basically, you know, whatever occurs during a reading is your energy. And with all this noise that's happening, that's literally your mental body. You are so used to thinking so many thoughts that you think you're not even thinking when you're thinking. That you think that you're at peace when you're not even at peace. That's the level of like this kind of anxious thoughts that you're having, is you're so used to these petty little thoughts being there. And so you need to like really detach and go into a silent retreat or meditation. And I know some people, you know what they say, like some spiritual teachers will say, oh, when you sit down to meditate, you're going to start generating more thoughts. But that's not true. When you sit down to meditate, the only thing that changes is that you raise your awareness. So when you sit down to meditate, if you notice all these thoughts, it's not that you're thinking more thoughts, it's that you're becoming aware of the thoughts you already always had that was like a background noise at all times. So you're noticing that, and you have a need to kind of step away from that. So you could even be that you have to have this distraction all the time. You always need to have some sort of input, like whether you're watching something, whether you need to listen to music, whether you need to talk to somebody. When you don't have something to think about or worry about, you kind of get nervous. I always recommend for people to go to these 10-day Vipassana retreats. I know it's kind of intense, but it's so transformative. Believe it or not, this is part of why you are kind of on hold with this romantic relationship or offer of love that is here. There needs to be a brand new beginning, otherwise something is going on here. Something is definitely going on, and it's kind of ambiguous as to what will happen or who you will meet or who is going to be this love that is going to reflect this true level of mental harmony in terms of the masculine and feminine polarity. But there is something definitely occurring in terms of your love life with the Six of Cups and the Knight of Cups there. This balance that you're achieving is going to reflect outwards, absolutely, for sure. And it's not something that you can know exactly what's going to happen until it happens. And that's part of, like, you know, you have to be comfortable with not knowing what's happening. And you have to not worry about who this is or what's going to happen with this person, because what matters the most is that you like really start to give your mental body a break. And when your mental body is silent, like I said, you feel kind of guilty. But in your near future of the King of Pentacles, which means this mental balance and this emotional kind of acceptance into your life, when you welcome this mental yin energy, it will actually strengthen the generative force on the earthly realm, because this has been fractured. The masculine energy without the feminine counterpart is just fractured. It's literally looks like a hamster wheel of hustle without much fruit. So this literally is fruit. The fruits are coming out because you're letting yourself kind of chill. Six of Swords, Seven of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. So you definitely have this energy of material abundance that is coming up as your natural byproduct of balancing your energy. But you're definitely moving away from something or someone. There needs to be a leaving behind of your expectations, first of all. with everything, because when you're balancing your mental energy, it's going to really disrupt the thought systems and belief systems that you currently have in place. So you're emotionally gonna need to detach from a lot of the different facets of identity that you had, whether that's like being a healer, being a starseed, even like whatever it is that you just associate yourself with so much. You are detaching from all of those things, anything that you're unhealthily mentally attached to. If you happen to think about somebody or someone or some issue or some area in your life obsessively every day, you're gonna need to just give that a go. And then in the final outcome, I have here the Knight of Wands, which I want some clarification cards for this. Four of Cups, Five of Cups. Whoa, King of Cups in reverse. Something or relationship definitely just didn't turn out as you had hoped, and you're quite apathetic about all of these, and it's almost like you followed your heart and passion so bravely and courageously into just trying this out with wide open arms and a wide open heart, but then it just is not turning out as you had expected, as you had hoped. You're quite hurt and disappointed, but this is teaching you a greater lesson of detachment on a mental level. When you really want something, right, and you really hope that it will happen in a certain way, what you really are wanting is that frequency of how that option makes you feel, and knowing that there's a million different ways to get it. But a lot of people have this notion, like when they experience something, they identify the cause of that feeling as the option itself, the portal itself. The portal is only a portal, it's only a doorway. There's an entire spectrum of feelings that has a million different ways to get there. But once humans identify one door to how to feel into that whole dimension, they're obsessed with that door. They're obsessed with that gateway. And that's what you're learning to do, is to completely detach from that way of thinking, of that mental clinginess. So yes, you are feeling quite down right now, but don't be too concerned. And it does show that this is how you're gonna feel for quite some time. I feel like some of you might have had hopes of getting married to somebody, because the Hierophant in reverse with the King of Cups in reverse, it's like there's that aspect and element there of, you know, I don't even know if you were thinking about marriage, but a lot of you had a subconscious desire of that possibility. I think here what you need to realize also is that that desire for that confirmation of love, or the way that you would tune into feeling when you're married itself, was that doorway to a certain way of feeling itself. So you definitely need to soften up with this situation. I'm not going to say that it's the most easy thing, because here, just the way you feel, you're just, you know, not feeling the best. You're not feeling terrible, but it's not a good feeling here. But moving on, there's better things in store for you for sure. And I'm just gonna go into reading your oracle cards. What matters is throughout these feelings, right? Because you're not feeling the best. What matters is that you realize that the reason why you even feel negative, aside from things that make you feel positive, is the same kind of deal as when I was saying, when people find something or find an option that makes them feel good, they get obsessed with the doorway. It's the same thing for negative feelings as well. When people feel bad, they get obsessed with why they're feeling bad, but that's not really the reason why you feel bad. It's just a frequency that you need to let kind of unflow and teach you the lessons. And eventually you will learn not to like cling on to the reasons why you feel that way, but just accept the fact that you feel that way. Get abstract, like float on top of the situation and realize that's just a pattern of energy, and no matter what caused you to feel that way, you're feeling it for a reason to be resolved. And if you want to trace the energy of where that comes from, it comes from so many different parallel lives that you're simultaneously living into, not just this human version. So just realizing that and letting it flow. Have you asked your angels for help with this? Ear chakras and integrity. I feel that you really need to watch out to who you listen to, what you listen to, and how you're dealing with what you're listening to. A lot of you guys are psychic, or you have clairaudient, clairsentient, especially clairaudient abilities where you hear messages, or where you're open telepathically to messages. But a lot of times it's coming from distorted sources and you're mistaking it. So you need to start discerning, where is this coming from? And you can literally ask when you get a piece of guidance from higher dimensions, not realizing that, you know, even 5th dimension has shadows, 6th dimension has shadows. And a lot of you are just literally just trusting everything you hear from higher dimensions, but it's not the way to go. You need to discern. So when you hear a piece of guidance, you first need to check with your heart, like, was that of the light or not? Was that of the highest vibration truth or not? And what you can also do is center yourself and ask yourself, higher self directly, where was that coming from? Who was that? And you have to realize that any real guidance from higher light realms are never in a voice or in a kind of a frequency that is harsh or cruel. Or it's never demanding of anything, or it's never trying to like push upon your free will, like, oh, don't do this, don't do that. They will not talk like that. So I want you to really give it a voice and use your ear chakras. When you get a telepathic message, ask your ear chakras to repeat it in a voice. You have the capacity to translate the telepathic package into something that's audible, so you can discern better. Start to discern what your higher self sounds like and feels like. Start to discern what Arcturians or Pleiadians or reptilians that are not of the highest vibration, whatever it is, not instilling fear, you want to start discerning. So that's that. And it also comes with human relationships. Who are you listening to? Why are you listening to them? And in what areas do people have the right to give you advice in? So I say this often, it sounds pretty obvious, but sure, you have your best friends or you have your mentors, but you don't want to listen to all of them for everything. There's certain people that you want to listen to certain things about that they have a right to tell you in that aspect of life. But for instance, if you go to a friend who is like got addiction issues and they're telling you how to take care of your health, why would you listen to that person? Or if you're listening to a friend who hasn't had a proper relationship or is not able to attract the right partner, and then you don't want to listen to that person about relationships. So these are the things that you really want to start discerning. And so that's it for that. I hope that you guys found this helpful. And if, like I said, if you want to get deeper transmissions from me, I will have a link below. And also check out this goddess activation video that I've uploaded. If you haven't seen it yet, it's going to change your life. So thank you so much. Sending you lots of love and see you later.